What up, party people? What up, YouTube? Yeah, this is Chef here. New Zealand murder history. And check this out. The show's going to discuss an attempt murder, plus arson. It's totally not suitable for children. Kids click off. And anyone suffering from PTSD, or who may have been in a bad fire before, also click off and seek support from your GP, or call one of the many 0800 numbers available. Let's set this camera up. Nice spot, huh? Looks like a nice place to go camping. Wrong! You thought wrong! You don't want to go camping here. But anyway, my show is just for educational purposes and not to cause offense to anybody. This case that we're going to be discussing is under a court order, so I'm not going to be naming the perpetrator of this alleged crime or the victims or anybody. And neither should you. Seriously though, don't name them in my comment section, please. What up, party people? What up, YouTube? Yeah, this is Chef, New Zealand Murder History, and I'm coming to you from Murderers Bay District, on location. Pakawau, to be exact. Pakawau? Pakawau. I got told it's pronounced Pakawau. I'm not sure about that. Anyway, seriously though, Golden Bay got named Murderers Bay by the first Pākehā to come to New Zealand. Dutch ship's captain, Abel Tasman. Yeah, he lost a very small nautical battle with the local Māori tribe here. Ngāti Tūmata Kōkiri. But that's another story I've already covered. I'll drop you a link in the description if you'd like to learn more. Anyway, I don't have an entire scripted podcast for you today. I'm mostly just reading an article from stuff.co.nz. Journalist Hayley Gale, written January the 7th, 2011. Shout out to Hayley Gale. Thanks for the article. Man charged with attempted murder. And of course you can find this on www.stuff.co.nz. But I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, that this article was at least at first written for the Nelson Mail, which is a newspaper here in Nelson. But anyway, let's read it then. Man charged with attempted murder. A 59-year-old Christchurch man, allegedly involved in an early morning attack on a Freedom camping couple in Golden Bay, has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. The man, who has name suppression, was seen at the Nelson police station this afternoon by a judge. Nelson Bay's Area Commander Inspector Brian McKirk said that the man stayed at the station because of concerns over his volatile behaviour. Early this morning, a couple cowered in their camper van while it was attacked in an apparent row over freedom camping at Pakawau, 40 kilometres east of Takaka. So that's where I'm filming at the moment. So yeah, it seems like the guy was kicking off in the police cells, so they didn't want to bring him into court because they didn't know what he was going to do, I guess. And so a judge came to the police cells to see him. I'm fairly certain that's what they're telling us here. But anyway, Armed Defenders Squad members were flown from Nelson in a chartered helicopter and arrested the man in a nearby house. He had initially been charged with trying to set fire to the camper van. The man has been remanded in custody for 2 weeks. Police said the van's windscreen was smashed and an attempt was made to set fire to it with the couple inside before the attacker left the scene on the beachfront at Pakawau. Pakawau, I think that's how you pronounce it in Māori. Anyway, a popular holiday spot 40 kilometres west of Takaka. McKirk said the couple who had arrived in the area yesterday were petrified, but luckily had not been injured. Mid-morning they were at the Takaka police station, where they were talking to police and victim support staff. Senior Sergeant Grant Andrews of Motueka, which coordinated the response, said the arrested man and a male friend had arrived at a Pakawau batch last night. The man allegedly took offence to 2 camper vans parked in a picnic area between the batch and the sea. So that's where we are right now. You can't see the sea because those little shrubs are in the way, but it's right there. It's actually really nice out here. I went for a walk before. It was wonderful. But anyway, during the evening, he confronted the campers and one camper van left. Police had been told there was yelling and screaming in the early hours of this morning when the man confronted the Chinese couple, a 44-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman. Another article I was reading on the Otago Daily Times website said that the woman was 36, but I'm not sure. This article says she's 24. No idea. Anyway, he allegedly damaged the front of the van and tried to pull out the front part of the windscreen before pouring methylated spirits and apparently trying to set the van on fire. A boy living next to the site allegedly saw what was happening and was talking to police, who received a 111 call at 5:50 a.m. This morning, the Nissan van, an older model that looks to have been modified, was parked at the Tomatia Point near some pine trees by the sand dunes and fenced off by police tape. It was about 80 meters from the nearest batch at the northern end of Pakawau village, near a single file of holiday batches and family homes. Andrews appealed for the occupants of the other van that was parked at the reserve last night to contact police. The Tasman District Council Reserve is a popular spot for public beach access, and there are no signs banning freedom camping. Golden Bay residents are growing increasingly intolerant of issues posed by freedom campers, which include littering and defecating in public places. The intolerance came to a head last month when the Golden Bay Community Board made an urgent request to the Tasman District Council to have a compliance officer based in the bay to monitor problems. A council officer is monitoring the bay during January and February. In April last year, freedom campers were forced off land near the Waitapu Bridge spot by angry Golden Bay locals. Pakawau Old School House Cafe owner Robbie Duncan, who also owns the Pakawau Beach Park 500 meters from where the attack happened, said he knew the arrested man, and he was a bloody nice guy. He's not a local, but he's got a family-owned batch house here. He comes up a few times a year, and he's one of the nicest guys who comes here. But he's obviously got a few issues at the moment. Duncan said his phone had been ringing off the hook this morning with people worried about what was going on, but he hadn't heard anything nor seen the helicopter. But it sounds like a pretty typical day around here in Pakawau. Oh, man. Anyway, timeline, 5:50 a.m. Police receive a 111 call. Takaka police respond. 4 armed offenders squad, AOS members and a police dog are sent by helicopter. 7:25 a.m. The old Pakawau school site is cleared to land 2 helicopters with AOS members on board. 7:30 the AOS surrounds a camper van. 7:40 a man is arrested and victim support are called in. 8:25 ambulance and fire service are stood down. The Nelson Mail. So yeah, it says the Nelson Mail at the end of the article, so that's why I said it seems to be originally written for the Nelson Mail. So yeah, that's pretty hardcore response, you know. someone camping up. They didn't like them, but who knows? Could have been racism against the Chinese, other factors at play. I don't know. So this is the camper van. What's left of it after it got smashed up and yeah, bloke tried to set it on fire. And over here, this is just a picture of the cops, and they're just, you know, standing at the road, monitoring traffic on the day of the arson. So obviously, this 59-year-old Christchurch man, he don't like freedom campers. And I get the impression he's possibly not too crazy about the Chinese either. I mean, you could say a lot of things about this bloke with name suppression. Robbie Duncan, the owner of the old Schoolhouse Cafe, calls him a bloody nice bloke. Okay, Robbie. I guess you do know him better than me. I mean, I don't even know his name. But I gotta tell you, I'm not so sure about that. But I'm also not sure about the attempt murder charges either. I mean, the article says methylated spirits. I mean, yes, it starts a fire, but it's not as explosive as petrol or something, you know? It's not jet fuel. Now, if either the woman or the man had mobility issues, like they needed a wheelchair or 2 crutches to get around, well then, yes, that would be an attempt murder. But to me, this 59-year-old bloke with name suppression, he falls short of being a bloody nice bloke, but from the limited information available, it sounds like he was trying to run the Chinese couple out of town. I mean, like, how are you going to go freedom camping now? Your little house truck's on fire. Good luck with that. And I don't really know why I'm sticking up for this bloke. I mean, I do think he should sit in jail for a hot minute and think about how it all came to such mayhem. But attempt murder? Nah, I'm just not sure murder was really what he was aiming for, you know. I read another article written for the Otago Daily Times called Attempted Murder Charges After Camper Van Attack, written on the 24th of January 2011, author unknown. That one's available on www.odt.co.nz, so if you guys want to check that out, it's pretty interesting. But anyway, it says the 59-year-old with name suppression was armed with a machete. Well, if that's the case, I mean, wouldn't that be the thing to use in a murder? Surely. This same article says he smashed the side windows, front and rear lights, plus the indicators, also putting a large hole in the passenger door. Well, anyway, I'm not sure how this all played out in court. Like I said, information on this case is limited. If anyone does know, message me in the comments. But like I said before, don't name this guy or the Chinese couple from Hamilton. All their names are protected under a court order, so we'll just have to leave it at that. But what do you think, boys and girls? Was this an attempt murder? Anyway, that's about all I had to say about that. Hope you found that interesting. There's one other thing I want to show you while we're out here. So let's go for a little drive. Don't worry, we're not going too far. Yes, this is my new phone. Bought it because it's got better camera and better audio, so bring you guys some better quality shows, you know? Check this shit out, it's funny as hell. Tomatia Point Reserve. No overnight parking, no fires. Chef, New Zealand murder history. Signing off, Murderers Bay, South Island. Have a good one, everybody.